3. So, you're
Yes.
playing Serious Sam. Had you ever heard of this game before this?
Dude, actually I did. I've played Serious Sam. Oh wait, just see, I didn't go for tourist. I went for normal. I am an
I,
average guy. Not below
I
average,
was
not above.
wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gonna try to pussy out on this. Yes.
I was feeling like pushing out of this, and then I was like, "Oh no, he'll just give me a bad time for that." So I'll go for it. But yes, I've heard of Serious Sam, and I've played a newer version of that before. Uh, but I didn't really like. I don't know. It wasn't a game made for me. I'm not a big shooters guy.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. And to be honest with you, I had never actually played the original Serious Sam. I
Really?
remember seeing demos of it back in the day, and already then being like, "This is not for me." And I mean, this story. I mean, it's trying really, really hard to kind of be Duke Nukem, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting about this game, and one of the things that popped up, because we're doing this based off of the timing of a review in the US of the game, but it actually come out in Europe a little bit earlier. This was actually developed by an Eastern European team, and the idea was that this was actually a budget title, and in parts of Europe it was released as a budget title. Exactly. And then it got really good reviews as a budget title, value for money and so forth.
Yeah.
And then they actually did release it in the UK as a full price title after the reviews had gone out saying that it was a budget title, which pissed off a lot of reviewers. PC Zone especially was quite angry about it, had an editorial about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the interesting thing about this game engine, and unfortunately we're not going to see that in your video here, the one thing that the Serious Sam engine could do that other games at the time couldn't was massive numbers of enemies on screen and big open areas. So
I mean, we have a big open area right here. It's big, it's open, there's nothing.
Yeah, and later on there's literally going to be 100+ enemies on screen all at once.
Yeah.
And unfortunately you don't get to that in this go-through of the game, but that's the thing that kind of sells this game ultimately. Was no other game could pull off that many enemies on screen. And that's what this engine, the Serious Sam engine, could do that others couldn't do at the time.
Yeah, I remember this newer version of Serious Sam, and it's just bucket loads of enemies. Really, it's just so many enemies, and it shoot. As I said, it wasn't made for me.
Yeah.
Just commenting on what I'm doing here. Here, I thought, hey, let's read and give our dear listeners and watchers the time to read the mission briefing.
This is quality entertainment video right here that I'm sure that all our Patreon supporters are like, oh, I'm glad I gave them money and the time of my life.
And you would laugh, but at this very moment, I thought no one on earth is going to read this. And I was just like, what the hell? Whatever.
Well, you mean to find the 4 magical elements, and I mean it's a highly intricate plot that, of course, is going to lead to character development and interactions with other characters and all this fun stuff that, of course, never materializes. But and these character designs of headless characters with guns and their heads in their hands. I mean,
it's just amazing. But at this very moment, I haven't figured out yet that those guys were headless. I was just like, oh, something moves towards me, let's just shoot it. And I was like, oh, there's a second gun, so let's go for it, because 2 guns are better than 1.
That is always a good option, yes. I mean, they're also cooler no matter what you do. And was
Well,
this actually your first go around with the game, or did you actually try it
yeah.
before this?
No, it's really the very first go I had with the game. I had some trouble setting it up because I'm a technical genius, but after I've chosen the right graphic card, it worked just fine. So I basically just saw the intro.
Very cool, very
Yeah.
cool.
So this is really the first attempt, and you see I'm a natural. You know, shooters, I'm not a shooters guy because shooters are just boring, you know. I'm just so great at them.
I can tell. Yes, you're
Yes.
looking back and forth, trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I haven't, well, at the third turnaround, I figured out that I was going a full 360. I didn't figure this out earlier. I was just wondering why all this stuff looks the same. And here I figured out, oh, those were actually headless guys that just magically beam away.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you know, I
The whole
saw
thing
that
is
I
weird.
received a message. I just decided not to give a crap about it because who wants to read? I want to shoot. Why
Yeah,
do I need my brain? I want to shoot.
yeah. And it's kind of, I mean, back to the history of the game a little bit. The Serious Sam franchise, I mean, it's still going today. There's an HD remake of this game, too, that's on Steam. I mean, we just picked up now in the summer sale for cheap.
Yeah.
And there's even a Game Boy Advance port of Serious Sam.
Okay.
I believe it's
Well,
also a first-person shooter. So at some point we may have to take a look at that one just for shits and giggles.
oh
I
yeah.
mean, uh, did you ever play any FPSs on the Game Boy Advance?
No.
Oh,
And
that's
actually,
going to
I
be an
didn't have a Game Boy
experience.
Advance, so
You didn't?
I
Oh, you poor
was
child.
no, 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 no. I was my parents bought me a Game Boy Color when I tricked them. They made a promise to me, and 1 year later, when I fulfilled their demands regarding school, the deal was if I get straight A's, I get a wish, and they surely hope for sports, but sports was I don't know what we had in sports, maybe table tennis or whatever, but I had straight A's. I mean, I was like second grade or something, so not that big of a deal actually, but I had straight A's, and at the end of the school year, I was like, hey, at the beginning of the school year, you said I have a wish, and they were like, shit, yes, we kind of said that. Oh yeah, this is a great catchphrase. And I was like, I want to
Yeah,
have a Game Boy
they're
Color,
so
and they were like, oh damn, we never wanted to buy one, but okay, we have to stay true to our word. So we went, and my actually first Game Boy Color game was Bugs Bunny.
wow.
Mhm.
That's Crazy Castle?
Yes, Crazy Castle 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's quality software right there. Actually, it
Well,
wasn't
as a
terrible.
kid, I enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Then my mother figured out it wasn't too bad, and then the Game Boy Color was in the hand of my mother for quite a while. With The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, this was something she didn't want to play because it didn't have like closed levels. She had trouble with the openly world concept. So,
Yeah.
but going
Okay,
back to
but
Serious
back.
Sam,
Yeah. This is so generic. It's sad.
yeah, it is, isn't it? This is why I'm talking about Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
Playing
I
this game. I
mean,
mean, there's not a lot happening, and I mean, our dear watchers are paying at least $1 a month, so we want
yeah.
to provide
Sorry,
quality
guys. This
and
this.
insight.
I mean, as somebody who hadn't played it and read the reviews, I was really expecting a lot more action, and it's just like,
There's
wow.
actually not much going on, but I mean, this is the first time actually there's some enemies coming towards me, and they're all just dying like flies. So, but I don't want to. I mean, I was full of adrenaline when this guy jumped towards me. So it's like, oh shit. And then I was like, okay, you're there with one shot. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I mean, they kind of have to because later on, like I said, when the huge swarms of enemies come at you, if they took multiple hits, nothing would happen. Oh, that's a beautiful walking animation right there.
Oh, yeah.
That they motion captured that with somebody who was tied to a gurney. That's Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but
that's
this is it, and I really am sure that you guys got some value for your money. So
yeah. Okay. With that being said, let's get back to the episode.
let's get back.